and because you had like a dark skin girl poem, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So like when I was younger, after you made that poem, I I I don't know how to say this. I expected you as like a father to a dark skinned woman, and since you made that poem, in my head, I was like, oh, that means you like dark skinned girls, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and then I started noticing that you don't.
What do you mean I don't?
Wait, listen. You don't want to. And I remember I've also mentioned this to you the other time, the suffragine that time,
Yeah.
where I was like, yes, you do like light skin, dark skinned women. Oh, they're so beautiful. But if you think like dark skinned women are so beautiful, yet I don't think you've ever been with a dark, oh, the women I've seen you with, zero dark skin in them, you know? So to me, it was like, okay, you're saying this, but you're doing this, and clearly you like this. So I'm like, so it's a
Yeah.
performative.
Oh.
Um, I'm not saying, but like to me, it felt so
So that's what it
performative,
felt
and
like.
it still feels like most men do that. Oh, dark skin.
For today's topic, it's gonna be more generic because I think you wanted to talk about what was it again?
Why does speak? I like. I wanna hear your views, Sarah,
Mhm.
like what you think about the colorism. Do you think colorism exists in South Africa? Do you think colorism affects um a certain group of people? You know, Ranjan.
Um, yeah, I don't know how big it is. I'm not sure really. I'm not sure with how big it is in South Africa, really. But I do know that it exists. I know, like for men, because I'm gonna speak on the men's side firstly, because I know that side better. Colorism was a different thing for us. I don't know if it's still happening till today. I mean, back in high school, if you were dark as a man, you were made fun of, you were bullied, nanani. As a boy, you were bullied and all of that. And the light skinned boys were the ones that were cute and girls wanted to date and all of that. And then we got older. And then all of a sudden, things were the other way around. Women liked the darker skin man, because you were tall, dark, and handsome. So, like we started getting that attention, Tina, about tall, dark, and handsome. And then light skinned guys were now being made fun of. "Ay, weak, and that we will, throw jabs at each other as men, like we'll make
I
fun
was
for.
about to ask the question, Lucy. So, because of your experience growing up, is this why now you make fun of light skinned men? Because you do.
Maybe. Light skin man. Hey, why am I lighting that?
You do.
No.
Okay.
So I don't think it's that, but maybe.
Do you view
I've
light?
just never thought about
Do
it.
you view
But to
a
us, it's
man?
not. It's not that serious. Like
Wait,
we
but
make fun of each other as
yes,
men.
but also do you view light skinned men as like they feminine?
Yes, so I mean that's what women say. So we just throw those jabs at them because that's what we hear from women. Because women are like, no, I don't want to date no light skinned man because he doesn't come across as
With
manly.
and they feminine. That's my like.
Yeah, because they say they're feminine.
Yes.
Women say that, not men. Because we wouldn't really know we don't really care, It's not
Yeah.
really something that we care about, to be honest. We make fun of each other regardless. So if there's something to make fun about you, we'll take that. And so if women are already saying you look feminine, we will use that against you, to make fun of you. Nah, nah. Now, but they will make fun of dark skinned guys. But it's never that deep with guys, unfortunately. But with women, I've seen Uguti, it really is that deep. It affects women to that level as well. Because I know they say light skinned women have more privilege than dark skinned women, or they are more liked by men, which I don't think is quite true because I know Uguti, opposite attracts. So in most cases, dark skinned guys will tend to be drawn towards the light skinned women. And light skinned guys, in most cases, in every light skinned guy that I know is usually more drawn to darker skinned women. And that's just it. And then there's some obviously dark skinned guys that will still be drawn to dark skinned women, and light skinned guys that will still be drawn to light skinned women. But I don't think it's that deep in South Africa. Uh, I don't know how deep it is because I hear with you even in the work environment, women have privileges and all of that. Light skinned women are hired mostly because if it's the men doing the hiring, chances are they will hire the light skinned women, or they get like first preferences when it comes to everything. I don't know how true that is, but this is what I hear from other women that complain about such. But yeah, so
My thoughts
is the colorism.
that colorism in South Africa exists and it mostly affects women, like you said, Nakon, because from my personal experience, being as like dark skinned as a girl is more difficult because you made fun of, so especially in primary,
In
made fun.
primary,
Yes, you see, these things are so deep that
that you still
even
remember them.
young kids, no, not even about that, even young kids are subjected to it. We kids in primary, we shouldn't be
Aware of each
yes
other's
with
skin
such
tones.
things, yes. So it was that deep of when you're growing up, these are nyamani.
So
Oh,
it's something
it's
that they picked up from their parents and the
yes.
older
Even
people.
like older generations, things like that they would say, with oh, dark and the scrub. I get scrubbed.
Who was scrubbing you?
I can't like obviously express, but I mean it must click to you. You know, I used to get scrubbed.
Okay.
But yo, udlalela ngeni, ugcoka umnyama kanjani, and that would also affect me. Because okay, I'm so dark, nanani. Also, like in primary, being called good to be foreigner because I'm dark skinned, and how I'd hear like
Hey,
boys say
primary
they like
primary school kids are brutal.
yes, first would say they like the light skinned girls. Also, going into high school, I just saw how most of the boys, light skin, dark skin, they preferred the light skinned girls over the dark skinned girls. And if you are dark skinned girls, because most of the dark skinned girls that were popular in my school were like,
They
yeah,
had to be too extra.
yes, they were a bit extra, and yeah. So
So they had
that
to
was
do too much in order for
yes,
them to
and
get
I
noticed.
even with yes, even in general, the most of the dark skinned women that are liked have to do so much. They have to present themselves a certain way. They have to have certain features to be considered.
But I thought dark skinned women were in now, especially in social media. Okay, like I know within the modeling space, the
It's
TV space, they are
performative.
now,
You see, like you
acknowledged.
said, the modeling space, because I've been seeing, I don't know if it's my For You page, because I like such conversations, and where most the dark skinned women are complaining, Guti, when they get into the modeling space, they only highlight their skin. They even make
That's
them
it.
look dark skinned. Yes,
Look
it's
at how
like
they are.
yes, they the token. Like we have a dark skinned person. They always make them, because I actually saw a video yesterday of some woman saying she quit modeling because mm, all the photographers she worked with only focused on her skin color, and when they'd edit the pictures they made her look so dark.
Darker than she
Yes,
is.
because when she was compared the picture and the obviously the video of herself, she's not even as dark as they portrayed her to be. And then so she was like her skin color was the
The
focus.
focal point.
Yes. And then you also mentioned that you feel like men don't um
Pay much attention to
yes
such.
to such, and how light skin is compared to being feminine. It's
Yeah, yeah,
also
yeah.
like that with women. When you are light skin, you are seen as more feminine and all of that. And then when you are dark skinned,
Fighters.
yes, like, and also you see that's why I also wanted to bring up the conversation with the woman where she said like most dark skinned women are the
Yeah.
activists, and it was a controversial take because some people were fighting, and most light skinned women weren't
So they
agreeing
were
with
saying
that.
that darker skinned women are the activists
Yes, they
mostly.
speak out more. That's what she said.
Yeah.
And also, there were some people agreeing. Also, her light skinned sister also pitched in and they spoke about that. And then there was also another content creator who spoke about how when light skinned women also try to, speak
Speak
on
up.
matters, people
They
don't
don't take them
listen to them.
seriously.
Yes, they always go,
So they do
oh,
also have their own struggles.
yes, like, oh, out of topic, you're so pretty. They don't focus on what they're saying, they're focusing on their looks. So I understand both takes, but
Okay.
just I wanted to hear your thoughts on that.
So dark skinned, because obviously you can only speak on the dark skinned
Yes, because
women.
I'm dark skinned.
So you feel like they experience more prejudice than light skinned women.
Yes.
Okay. But like you said, light skinned women also have their own issues and their own because I'm sure number they, even though their
Yeah.
attention is nice sometimes, but they do also feel like they can't speak their mind. Because I feel like the reason why dark skinned women are the most activists is because they have had to learn to speak their mind from a young age because they were
Yes.
bullied, like you say, and like we were speaking about bullying. I do feel like certain level of bullying does, if you go through it and you survive it, you come out stronger on the other side of things, meaning that you learn to defend yourself, you learn to speak out, you know, for yourself. So that's why most dark skinned women will tend to speak up more because they had to face that from a young age. Light skinned women, like you're saying, if they had it easy from a young age and they didn't have, the level
As
of
much
abuse,
challenges. Yeah,
yes,
because there were some
yeah, so they
challenges.
didn't get the opportunity to grow that other side of activism, like speaking out for themselves, much fighting harder to be recognized, to be heard. But now they struggle with it at an older age because no one wants to listen to them like, I wanna stay pretty.
Like, oh, you're so pretty. And when that woman spoke about it, there was people in the comments doing it. Like, oh, I get what you're saying, Sissy, but you're so pretty. And it's like,
Now it takes away from what she's saying.
yes,
So okay.
people. And when also the way,
So maybe dark skinned women and light skinned women are kind of misunderstanding each other because
no,
I'm assuming that there's like a clash between usually. There's like because of these conversations, they do bring us some sort of clash. I mean, so there
yeah.
must be some clash between light skinned women and dark skinned women.
Yes. And sometimes when dark skinned women speak on certain things, people don't want to hear. They act like they don't understand it. Like I said, also going back to that other woman's video, when she spoke about something, people were fighting her in the comments, they're fighting her. But when her light skinned sister spoke about it, people in the comments are like, oh, I get you. Your sister didn't put it in this way. Now I understand you. And it's like they literally saying the same thing.
Wow.
So others tend to listen to the person they think is more, I guess, presentable or
But
something like
okay,
that.
that kind of happens all across. I mean, with men as well. With men, it's usually okay. The good-looking guy can get away with a lot. He can say some things, and they will be considered, oh, he's so cute. Chris Brown.
Well,
But yes, people
according
that
to the media,
people that look
Chris
like your
Brown.
Chris
Yes.
Browns will tend to get away
Yes.
with is will tend to get away with a lot because they can say certain things. But if a guy that is not considered as good looking, says the very same thing, he'll be dismissed immediately. That's why even with since we're on these topics, I know this is going to be very controversial, but even when it comes to harassment, when women complain about harassment, yeah, whether it's verbal harassment or physical harassment or whatever kind of harassment it is, I've realized that I've noticed that in most cases, when a guy that they consider cute and handsome says something or does something that would be considered a harassment, they don't really view it like that. They go, "Oh, he's so cute for doing
Mm.
that." Nah, nah.
True.
But when a guy that does not look, like the kind of guy they're interested in, does the very same thing or says the very same thing, and all of a sudden it's a big. So there is some level of inequality in that sense. But I mean, why don't dark skinned women and light skinned women then get together and speak about these issues? Because the reason why you guys clash and you end up just pointing fingers at each other. Because one thing that we do most good, better as men is that we speak. We might actually make fun of each other than that, but we'll tend to speak about these things. Like,
Because most of the other women are so dismissive, especially towards, because most of the videos I interact with, the light skinned women become dismissive. They're like, oh, but I also went through this. But they're like, okay, we understand, but what you went through is also wrong. But it's
the
not.
focus, the focal point right now is dark skinned women,
Yes,
not you.
they tend to do that when the dark-skinned women speak on their
They
matters.
make it about
Yes,
themselves.
they're like, oh,
Those women are
yes,
selfish.
those things, and also representation. And because you had like a dark-skinned girl poem, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. So like when I was younger, after you made that poem, I I I don't know how to say this. I expected you as like a father to a dancing woman. And since you made that poem, in my head, I was like, oh, that means you like dark skinned girls, yeah, bo?
Mm-hmm.
And then I started noticing that you don't.
What do you mean I don't?
Wait, listen, you don't want to. And I remember I've also mentioned this to you the other time, the suffrage in that time,
Yeah.
where I was like, yes, you do like skin, dark skinned women, oh, they're so beautiful. But if you think like dark skinned women are so beautiful, yet I don't think you've ever been with a dark, oh, the women I've seen you with, zero dark skin in them, you know? So to me, it was like, okay, you're saying this, but you're doing this, and clearly you like this. So I'm like, so it's a
Eh.
performative
Wow.
um I'm not saying, but like to me it felt so
So that's what it
performative,
felt
and
like.
it still feels like most men do that. Oh, that's good, because it was also a topic how Kendrick Lamar raps about dark skin, and he puts dark skinned women in his music videos, and how most artists do that.
Yeah, because my
but
mother was dark, my sister is
but in
dark, you know, so you.
reality, you don't like that. You don't like dark skinned women like that.
But
You
I feel like that's an unfair point when it comes to dating, because that's something different. Dating is a preference thing. I mean, you could, just because you like tall guys with broad shoulders
mm,
doesn't mean that you don't like short guys, right? I'm not saying that's what you like, but it doesn't mean you like short guys. Um, it's just that that's your dating preference. That's
yes,
different, but you don't see anything, no issues now. It's just that for me, this works better. This is my preference. This is the attraction.
I
You know?
hear that.
Yeah,
But
but
thing is, for me now, when I was younger,
yeah, no, I.
trying to, it felt like that to me. It's okay. You are saying this, but you're doing this, and most people say this, but
But
they
how
do
do you
this.
think you ended up dark?
You were younger then.
So
You didn't even, probably most of your types now,
it's
because
changed.
of the things also you have.
Okay.
No offense to them, I'm not saying they gold digger. Obviously they're not.
But
But
yeah, I'm not rich either
yes,
way, just
they're
in
not.
case.
But obviously, now that you're older and you have certain things, and you feel like your type changes, maybe you can go for the people you couldn't go for in high school, because you say dark
Well,
skinned people are made fun of
well,
in the
since you
girls'
want to
school.
know
But
so bad, I do not have a type. I still date where my heart goes, you know? I let my heart lead, and then it just happens that I meet a woman and she's light skinned. Then, unfortunately, that's the case, you know, that's what happens. But anyway, what I was saying is, so dating is a different story. So you can't obviously equate that to what, yeah, a person
yes, I
appreciates or
understand
likes.
that. Obviously,
That's a
people
different
have
preference.
different type
Yeah, just because you like skinny guys does not mean you find something wrong with big
that
guys.
people, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, to me, obviously, it does like that. It does like so controversial.
Wow.
Let's move on
Okay.
to LGBTQIA community.
I feel like this one might get me into trouble a bit, but I'll try and be as thoughtful and as clear in my explanations, or in my. Forgive me for my misinformation and for not understanding certain things, but I might have views that are controversial when it comes to that. But yes, what do you want to know?
So I want to know, that okay, I'm not saying your son is going to be gay.
Let's not talk about.
No, okay, if you had a child,
Mhm.
uh, nah,
Mm.
and obviously a sign,
Mm.
because I find it that when a daughter lesbian
Okay, let's. I
woman
feel
and
like let's start here first because this is we always have this conversation and
when it's
like
separate.
before we go to the what if your son was.
I'll cut the part.
Eh,
I'll cut this part out.
yeah. Okay.
So I'm not red straight.
Okay. I just don't understand it, you know, because back in our days there was gay and lesbian, then there was bisexual. It was very clear.
And
If you
transgender.
liked men, transgender was not really a big thing then. Yes,
Obviously,
it was
people
like in
didn't have
Europe.
money to
Yeah, it was like a
transition.
European thing, which there's transgenders as well, but it wasn't really. But these main three ones were the biggest ones because it was gay, lesbian, yeah, bisexual, which was also something that was not really as big. But it was clear if you liked men, you were gay. If you were a woman, I mean, if you were a man that liked men, you were gay. If you were a woman that liked other women, you were lesbian. But now there's BQRSTUV plus. Like I feel like there's terms that are just not making sense to me. That's where the topic is stems from. I it.
But also like, your high school days are so cool. You
A long
didn't
time
get to
ago.
experience different people.
No, we had gay
No,
people in our high school.
but I'm saying the other times when you feel like they didn't exist, you
Is
didn't get to experience how free people are now in high
I
school.
feel like you guys are too free to a point that you're getting confused, and now you're creating unnecessary terms
There's no
to try
confusion.
and explain your state of finding yourself because everyone goes through a state of finding themselves where they don't understand who they are. I feel like you guys come up with terms to try and identify those states, and which is not a problem. It's not an issue. I mean, live your life. Do what you want to do. The problem becomes, which is what everyone says, the problem comes when you try and enforce those very terms on other people that don't really go by that lifestyle. So when you ask me to call you an it instead of a he or her or
Why
whatever.
can't you just respect people, respect each other, and call each other the way someone else prefers? You don't have to agree. It's like saying,
Because
because I don't agree with a lesbian, I'm going to hate on them.
we're not you don't hate on anyone. I mean,
Yes,
like,
but if
people live their
someone
lives.
prefers to be called a it, call that person a it. It doesn't
What
affect
about
you.
number that don't identify as a he or a her?
Those are the non-binary.
Nine binary, and you call them
They, them.
they, them.
Yes.
Yes, they, them. That's the
So
term.
if someone wants to be called they, them, why is it so hard to do so?
Because
It doesn't
we have to
affect you.
first understand the language that we are using. It's the English language, and they, them has different meanings. If you go into the dictionary, they, them refers to, it's a plural. It refers to people, not just a singular person. So now, if you want to take now the word that was literally used for more people and make it an identity, something that you use for yourself, then it becomes ridiculous to us. Like, you now trying to change the language.
It's them because they
The
don't
Queen's
want
language. The
to.
Queen's language refers to, I mean, if it's a female, then you will refer to that person as a her. If it's a male, you will refer to that person as a he.
I'm thinking about it. You're not the person I'd like to discuss this topic with.
Why?
Because, like I said, you don't have the same experience I have with the
LGBTQQRAI.
LGBTQIA plus community.
I
You probably don't even know what those things are.
L for lesbian, G for gay, D for bisexual, and then what's else?
LGBTQ
T for transgender, queer.
I
Angilahla ke lapho. I is
I
in.
think it's intersexual or something.
Okay. Yeah.
Asexual, then plus the rest, the pansexuals and all those other people.
And for me, those don't make sense because if you're a man and you like men,
There's men that like men and women.
confused.
See?
Because if you like other men, if you already like men, automatically then men. It's okay.
No.
Well,
You
that's
like
how
men
we
and
see it. That's how we view
see,
it. I mean, if you were to if you
You
were to sit
closed
with men,
mind.
it's not close-minded.
Yes.
It's make things simpler for us. Now we must
There's
remember
no
you
making
can.
things simpler for you. You just don't want to accept that there's other people that can like the same sex and the opposite sex.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to be honest. But I do respect people's lives. Like they can live however they
Yeah,
want
I
to.
feel
I
like
just
this topic is for me and a teenager.
not me because
You so and you like I said, you haven't experienced. Did you even have nine-binary people in your high school?
no.
You
What's nine
see,
binary for today?
they them. You didn't have the
People that don't identify as
pansexual.
anything.
Yes,
No, we didn't.
you
We
didn't
didn't.
have like how open. See how open people are with um that, but mostly I've noticed that people are still not open
With
as enough, like with the gays. They're not as open as they are
no, I mean,
with the girls.
people are more understanding in South Africa,
Yes,
especially. We've accepted that there's that community and it exists.
yeah.
Just they live their lives and you live your life.
Yes,
We don't
like
really.
it's not as a big deal, but I feel like it's not as accepted as
Oh,
it
but also
should
remember, we
be.
live in Joburg, so we are in a metrosexual,
Yeah.
not metrosexual, in a metro.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I have
but if you go to different
no.
areas within South Africa where
Yeah.
it's still more staunch in culture,
Yeah.
like your rural areas, Nanda, so they would still frown upon certain lifestyles that are not a norm, like gays.
And how like other people accept girls being gay and other more than they do
Yeah, it's
guys.
fine. I mean, speaking as a father, it's fine. If you like other women, that's fine. Good for you. You won't be bringing no babies home. That's the only reason why we don't care about that and we're okay with that. So rather that than bring abantwana la endlini, then all of a sudden now we need to raise kids because the fathers ran away, you know.
Why don't you teach kids sex education instead of that? See?
Because you can teach a person however I mean, you guys learn about, you get sex education from primary school throughout your high school.
Mm.
So no matter how much education you get, if you want to do what you want to do, you still do it and
True,
still,
true, 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 true. Do you know there's some people in the community that are also like kind of against other people in the community?
So gay people that would be against
Yes, I had like a
queers or
friend.
something.
Yeah,
Was it
very
in the
much.
closet?
No, he was. It's not a bad. She's a lesbian, ne? But she found like she got disgusted by two men kissing. I'm like, make it make sense. You are a lesbian, and then you're gonna say you to seeing two men kissing or the concept of two men being together. Like, does it make
So
sense?
they were being a hypocrite.
Yes, like it doesn't
See how
make
I use
sense.
they?
That personal thing. Because, like because I had most of like the people that were around me, I had to educate them about the LGBTQ, even people that are in the community. Some people just didn't know about most things. I educate people like, no, this, because I think I started learning about the LGBTQ in grade 7.
When you all thought you were gay in primary school. I remember that phase. Wow, whatever it was, you all went through it. All of you, all your friends as well.
And most of them are gay, not even bisexuals, lesbians.
Most of them.
Yeah. So what's the
But
difference?
but now if all the girls are becoming lesbian,
Not all the girls are
okay, if most of the
becoming
girls are deciding to date each other and become lesbian, like is it because they don't find boys attractive anymore? Or is there something wrong with the boys?
some people just
Why?
don't find boys attractive. Some people just like both women and men. I don't think there's a specific reason for that.
It's because the boys are not as many as they used to be. I feel like now, boy, they are lacking.
I don't think
Clearly,
so.
they're not coming to the party.
No, I think it's because now it's obviously much more accepted, so people are open about it now, and they do it more. And there's a lot of experimenting.
Yeah, freedoms sometimes are not always like. because people tend to experiment a lot, and then they want to change the norms that worked. Because obviously, if everyone were to become lesbian and gay, so the population will drop because no one will be having kids.
Yes, then we live in a happy world. People would have kids.
Happy world, Gajan, when
People will
population is
have
dwindling.
kids. Lesbians have kids. Gays have kids. They'll just be happy. Everyone will be happy. You see, there's people happy in love, no religious psychosis existing, no people doing crazy things in the name of religion. Imagine.
So
Happiness.
when you,
Politics are
I like the fact that you brought in religion. Now, when it comes to religion,
I don't think sorry. I don't think I'm a religious person. Sometimes I feel like when I pray, ne, I'm just acting because it's something people do. Some things in the Christian religion feels like it does made for men. You get me? Like it sides with men more. Maybe it's because I don't know the Bible. But
yeah,
yeah.
we can't speak on Christian because you don't really know it. But yes, there has been those concerns
Yes.
that the Bible was written by
Amen.
mostly men,
To control
but
women and to control other people. See how the Bible, white people use the Bible to control black people?
yeah, but it doesn't mean that the Bible is bad. So just because some people take it and then they use it in a bad way, it's like saying, Gucci, the knife that was meant to chop onions and when someone uses it to stab a person, that knife is bad.
Yeah.
It's not the knife that's bad, it's the people that use it. So it's a matter of understanding with whatever you believe in is normally what works for you. Because if you believe that when you pray, that's when things happen for you. When you pray, the bad things will stop. You believe that when you pray, if you're in a bad space and you pray, somehow things will work out eventually. Which they normally do. We don't know whether it's the prayer or not. This is now me speaking from a non-religious side. But as a religion, I say it works because it works for me, because that's what I believe in, you know. But when you pray and you do certain things, then you will tend to you believe in that so strongly that it happens. Because even the laws of nature say with whatever you believe in, they usually work. Hence why they say with what you think with your mind is usually what ends up happening. So if you think you are useless and all of that, you will start being useless because now you've conditioned your mind. So we don't know what it is. Religion is something that no one can explain. You just have to dive into it yourself and experience it yourself. And no matter, even if I could force you to go to church, you still won't understand it. But when you are older, when you start experiencing serious problems, when you start looking for that
So
higher
people
being,
turn to God because they have problems.
you tend to be honest, yes, you tend to God because you start experiencing things that are so heavy for you. Like, I can't carry this burden by myself. There must be some higher power that's gonna help me carry this. That's
Journal.
yeah, you can journal, but sometimes you're like this. I don't know how I'm gonna get out of this. There must be some God that can help you get out of this. That's how it normally starts. But then as you start learning and building that relationship, your aunties that never used to go to church and all. But I'm sure if you were to sit down with her and speak to her,
Never didn't go to church.
yes, that's why I'm saying she was never really introduced to
Yes.
Christianity. But somehow she managed to find that herself. And now she now goes to church. And it might be because of something she was going through, whatever the reason might be. But there's always a reason. There's always a point in your life where you like, there must be some higher being or higher power, and I need to find it. You look for it other kwisangoma, you look for it kuma yini konje laba ama-Peds nani, you know, those chakra people, chakra.
Maybe I'll find
Chakra people
my
in
thing.
Christianity, in Hinduism, in all these religions, because they're all religion culture as well, you know. You might go some, I mean, pants, but you will look for it.
Maybe Christianity is not for me.
You don't know that because you
Maybe I'm
haven't really.
supposed to be. Maybe I'm supposed to be a cult leader.
You want to be a cult leader? Oh, all the best. I don't know who's going to
People
follow you.
worship me.
Let's do this last part, you know, because I think this is a more lighter side of things. Okay. So, who do you think is more uh, dramatic between you and I?
Me.
Mm. Yeah, I agree. You're very dramatic. Who apologizes first?
No one.
Me.
No one.
Apologies.
There's no apologies. They just go, oh, okay, sharp. No one apologizes.
I feel like I apologize
No,
all
you
the time.
apologize when I forgot to say sorry. It's you sorry, like sorry.
At least I do. When I know I need to say sorry, just go pat. Mm-hmm. Who gives better advice? Obviously, I'm the adult, so my advice is always
I
better.
think equal.
You don't have advice. You
I
don't have the
do.
experience to give advice
I do. I give good
to your
advice
friends.
to people.
Mm. I've heard
There's
I've
so
heard the advices that you give, some of the advice that you give to your friends. Not all of not all of it is always good.
no. Sometimes,
Some
obviously,
of the advice you give to your friends.
no. Sometimes I just like a bit of disruption, but I do give out good advice. Most of my friends come to me
I
for
can
advice.
attest to that.
Yes. So I mean, I don't
Oh,
have friends anymore like that, but yeah, I give out good advice. Even
okay.
to some adults. You know, some adults they're not grown
Mm.
mentally.
Raising adults
Yeah,
is
you're
difficult.
raising. Yeah.
Raising parents is hard.
Oh, raising parents. You don't even want to know. Yo, I feel like an old gogo all the time, but
And that's where we close it off because Masaya did that much. And that's it, folks. Peace.